You've likely seen this before, even if you never gave it a name. When people ask you simple things, they start with sorry or quick question, like they had to build up the courage first. In group chats, things feel more relaxed when you stop talking, then tense again the moment you start typing. In both situations, someone has quietly decided if you feel easy to approach, often without thinking, and usually in just a few seconds, about the time it takes to walk past someone in a hallway. For a certain type of person, calm, sharp, and self-contained, that answer often becomes no, even if inside you feel gentle or just tired. No one really explains this part, so I will. Being intimidating and being cold are not the same thing with different names. Most people who come across as intimidating without trying don't even notice it, because from their side, it doesn't feel like power at all. It feels like waiting for others to make the first move again and again, until you start thinking you're the one being left out, when in truth, people hesitated to invite you because it felt risky. I used to believe this was something you're born with or not, like your height or your voice, something fixed before anyone could change it. But it's not. It comes from a few small, everyday habits that a nervous person's mind reads as warning signs, mostly because they have very little information and a lot of worry. So here are 7 things you might be doing that quietly say don't come closer to people who don't realize you'd actually like them. 1. Your face doesn't automatically adjust for others. Some people naturally smile or soften their expression as soon as someone comes near. It's like they're always showing warmth without thinking. You might not do that. When you're focused or just being yourself, your face becomes neutral, but others may read it as annoyed or judging. People form an opinion about a face in a split second. Once they decide you look unimpressed, they spend the whole interaction trying to win approval you never denied. It's an unfair situation, being judged for an expression you didn't even notice. And you can't really fix it in the moment, because by the time you realize, they've already made several assumptions. 2. You don't rush to fill silence, and silence makes people uneasy. There are some people who can sit quietly without trying to fix the pause, and it makes others uncomfortable in a way they can't explain. Most people talk just to avoid that feeling. It's a quick reaction to calm their nerves. You don't feel that need, so you stay quiet, and others mistake your calmness as judgment. Someone once said it feels like talking to a person who already knows all the answers. In reality, you're just not bothered by silence the way they are. 3. You speak as if the choice is already decided. This one is subtle, because it usually comes from skill, not arrogance. When you understand what you're doing, you say it clearly, without soft words like maybe or I think. But to someone who isn't confident yet, that clear tone can feel like a door is already shut. There's real research explaining this. A 2002 study from Princeton showed that people quickly judge strangers on 2 things, how warm they seem and how capable they seem. And when someone appears very capable but not very warm, it often creates caution instead of trust. People don't yet have enough to balance your ability with, so their mind fills the empty space with negative guesses faster than you'd expect. 4. You don't look for reassurance, so people think you don't need it. Watch people in a conversation. Many are quietly checking things like, did that sound okay, or was that funny? It's a small, constant exchange of looks and nervous smiles. If you don't do this, if you say something and simply leave it there without searching faces for approval, you seem calm, almost unreachable. People don't realize you might care what they think. They only notice that you aren't asking, and they take your self-control as not caring. It's almost ironic. The most hidden kind of insecurity is needing constant reassurance, yet the person who doesn't show that need is the one who seems intimidating. 5. You hold eye contact a moment longer. It's a tiny physical habit, but it has a big effect. Eye contact is usually like a quiet agreement, a back and forth of who looks away first to signal comfort. If you naturally keep your gaze just a little longer, not in a harsh way, just steady, it can feel like a challenge to someone's nervous system before they even think about it. Animals do this all the time. Humans do it too, but later they feel awkward about it, replaying the moment in their mind, wondering why they felt so exposed while talking to someone who, from your side, was simply paying attention. 6. Your standards show even when you say nothing. You don't have to say, that's not good enough, for others to feel it. If you expect a certain level of effort or clarity, people notice it in the way you ask questions or pause before replying to their ideas. What hurts a bit is this: they often place their own insecurity onto that silence and assume you're judging them, when you were only thinking. Standards, it seems, speak loudly even when your voice does not. 7. You become quiet when you're nervous, and it gets read the wrong way. This one is the most unfair, because it's often misunderstood. Some people talk more when they're anxious, filling the space with words. You might do the opposite, speaking less, your tone becoming flat, exactly when you feel the most uneasy. To someone else, this can look like you don't care or that you're bothered by them. But in reality, you're just trying to stay composed without drawing attention to it. It's a strange feeling, being at your most vulnerable and having it appear as your most intimidating. If even 3 of these felt familiar, I want to say something clearly, because it's not said enough here. None of this means you are hard to love. It just means you are being read by the wrong tools. People are trying to understand you using signals made for loud, easy, outward warmth, and you were never designed to work that way. The connection is usually still there underneath. It just needs a little more time to show itself, a smile that comes a moment later than expected, a small touch of softness added into an otherwise direct sentence. You don't have to pretend to be approachable in a way that doesn't feel real to you. And honestly, most people who are truly worth knowing were never pushed away by this in the first place. They just needed a bit more time than louder people do. But if you've ever wondered why a room gets a little quiet when you enter, or why people seem slightly tense before asking you something simple, it was probably never about your personality. It was just those few seconds a stranger's mind needs to adjust to who you really are. And truthfully, the ones who stay long enough to understand that are usually the only ones worth waiting for. One last thing. There's a link in the description and pinned comment to a bundle that I think many of you will find truly helpful. If this video connected with you, there's a good chance your mind runs a lot. It notices more, thinks longer, and doesn't switch off easily. That often means sleep feels difficult, focus comes and goes, and rest never feels complete. This bundle is built for that. It includes a sleep guide, a dopamine reset, a focus rebuild, and a mental clarity planner, all with simple daily actions, not just ideas, because information without structure just becomes more noise. You'll find it pinned in the comments as well. Take a look. And don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos.